All right, it's Scott and Jackie back on the Leisure Podcast. How you doing, girl? It's been like I think your hair is like three different colors, shades ago since I've seen you.
Thanks. I'm good. Got the
Yeah,
purple, got the blue. Went out a little road trip.
yeah. How was that?
Epic.
You weren't in a Prius, though, were you?
No, I didn't ride in a Prius. I had my Sonata.
The Sonata.
Yep.
Good tunes and good. You have a sunroof in that thing?
No.
No. All right. Well,
Hey, I drove to the desert. There was enough sun. You want to protect yourself down there.
that's true. That's true. Desert road trips are great.
Yeah, because it's like driving on the moon.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of like being in a Western.
It's insane.
Yeah. What was the
Yeah.
craziest thing you saw? The craziest thing you saw on the road trip?
Well, I went to Giant Rock. That's pretty crazy.
Was that the like Star Trek looking picture that you posted?
Giant Rock is outside of Landers, California, by the Integratron. And George Van Tassel lived under there starting in the 1940s, and he had contact with space people. And they told him how to build the Integratron, which is down the road from that. Anyway, it's a pretty weird place. Mojave Desert's weird. San Bernardino County, and there are so many lores and legends. It is an insane place. It's an insane place. Everyone's insane, and I mean insane.
You were counting aliens.
Yeah, we were looking for them, but you go out to Giant Rock, and there's the rock is so massive, and it's such a big piece of granite that there's literally an electromagnetic force that you feel when you get there. Like, we're driving on the dirt road in my car, and I'm with two other people, and I'm like, okay, yeah, Giant Rock, it's big. And you come around the corner, and there it is. And it's so big.
Yeah.
It's so big. I jammed on the brakes. I grabbed my forehead. I'm like, oh my Jesus, it's so big. It's this giant piece of stone sitting
And
on its own. It's one boulder.
Just natural. No, nothing carved in it or anything. It's just there.
Well, in the year 2000, a piece of it sloughed off. It went kapow. And the Hopi Indians said that if the largest part of the Giant Rock stayed standing when it cleaved, then humankind would survive. But if the biggest part went pow, pow, then human beings would not survive.
And what year was this? That it
2000.
2000.
But it was prophesied like hundreds and hundreds of years ago. It's such a trippy story. I'm going to do a video all about it. You got to take the kid out there, man. I'm not kidding you.
Oh, that'd be a cool trip. Yeah,
Yep.
that would be a cool trip.
It'd be a kind of a long drive for you, but still, if you like road trips, pack them in.
I got the Prius.
You have the Prius. Go through Joshua Tree, come through Vegas, stop and see me, then go down through Joshua Tree, see Joshua Tree National Forest, and then you keep going.
I like it. It. Put that on the radar for sure. Cool. Yeah. We went. I posted a video on the channel, the Leisure Podcast, No Spaces, on YouTube, and we went to this thrift con. It's called. Okay. Now,
what, at the National Western Complex?
Yes. So
all right.
They had 300 or so vendors, maybe more, and one of the vendors told me they were expecting like 20,000 people. There were so many people there, right? Picture going into a thrift store and only seeing the cool shit, like old rock and roll band t-shirts, sports shirts, all the cool shirts. The girlies are in there buying like retro dresses and things like that, suits, all kinds of crazy shit. And some of the prices, Jackie, are just like insane.
Really?
T-shirts for like $300.
Oh, high prices.
Yeah, but you going in and you know how to shop. If there's dudes there that are looking to sell stuff, and they know that if they have it priced at the right price, they're going to sell it. I mean, I bought a couple t-shirts. They were like $30, right? But where am I going to find such a cool t-shirt? Target? No, not these were
Like
cool.
what were they?
Oh, and they're upstairs. One was it was like a fuzzy like Jimi Hendrix.
Right on.
Cool. Another one had Ronald McDonald surfing, and it said Malibu, California underneath it.
Okay.
I scored one for the kid. It was from the Ozfest tour in like 2000, but it was from the guy wanted like $80 for it. And it was from Europe. So it had all these German dates in it.
Cool.
On it. And then on the tag was written in Russian.
Nice.
So I scored that and the Ronald McDonald shirt for $100. So they were $50 piece.
Hey.
And then when we got it home, the kid was like, oh, there's a tag on this shirt marked 140.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if the guy got confused or what. I got this. I got this cool Rockies bag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rocky's bag.
It's like pleather.
Yeah. How much did they get you for that?
$15. That was a good score. Yeah, that was a good score. Then me and the kid and one of his buddies. And his buddy bought, I don't know, his buddy was actually like buying real clothes, not just t-shirts and crap. We were there for a few hours. Man, there was a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. You thrift store? You like to go to the thrift store?
I do. I like to go to the thrift store, but since COVID, thrift stores are picked over because people have nothing better to do than to go to the thrift store, buy anything, and then try to sell it on Marketplace. The dumbest little vases or whatever. And that's driven up the prices at Goodwill and at Salvo. And I get really bummed. I'm like, this is a t-shirt that's twisted and it's like funny shape and everything. They still want $7 for it. I'm like, I'm done with thrifting for now.
Yeah, I still go. I don't know.
I think men have a lot more options.
Yeah. And I wear a lot of t-shirts. So there's a lot of t-shirts there. So it's always good. Picked up a couple of espresso machines there and like stuff that people get, like they buy and then I'm not going to use this. So they just give it away. And it depends on what part of town, you know?
Yeah. Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah. The one up in Boulder's got a great thrift store. Although you're right. It was picked over last time I was in there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because people have nothing better to do.
Yeah. Cool. We got Scooter coming in. He's got some headlines.
Right on.
Coming in from the bunker, wherever. I don't know where this guy's at, man. He is connecting. Yeah. I think. Oh, is he there?
Sounds like it.
He's mute. No.
He's
Scooter.
Connecting. I hear some.
Where is your bunker?
I keep hearing ring.
Scooter.
Just a moment. We're outside the cathedral.
Oh, I see.
Outside the cathedral.
Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm being a jerk. I'll turn that off. Hello. Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you guys are. Hi, Jackie.
Hi.
Hey, Scotty. So what do we know? What are we doing? Am I rolling right into the headlines?
Sure. What you got?
Yeah. Give us some.
Not much good. I was trying to ring up the Grim Reaper clip from Monty Python's Meaning of Life when you buzzed me.
Oh, I
in
see.
here. The Grim Reaper. An interesting series of headlines ending with, which is weird because Sunday is the final dump. You start with the take out the trash headlines for Friday, work through Saturday and whatever else is left, bury on a Sunday. But the significance of May Day, May 1st, and that this year falling on a Saturday. And the other thing that was strikingly odd was because of the White House press correspondence dinner. And at least Jackie will hopefully confirm this, that when it comes to the local awards dinners and the national awards dinners and something as prestigious as it used to be, the White House press correspondence dinner, that's the A squad. Those are the varsity players. And your local newsrooms and even your national newsrooms that weekend, whether it's the Washington Association of Broadcasters or the National whatever. That's the JV squad in the building.
Mhm.
Everyone else is at the dinner. Is that fair to say, Jackie?
Oh, for sure.
Okay. So I'm not trying to be discriminatory before I start these headlines, because so you've got the A squad, you've got the varsity lettermen and women at the correspondence dinner, which is Saturday, May 1st. Saturday, May Day, around the rest of the world is in some places a holiday, in some places just another Saturday. But in the news cycle coming out of Orthodox Easter
That's right.
and the war in Ukraine, the reason bringing up the B squad in the newsrooms are the way some of these headlines, now obviously in the media, they want the headline to hook you, to make you click,
Mhm.
to read, to make money.
To make money.
But the way to make money, that's what the news is. If you think the news is there to inform you, you're high on crack. The
Mhm.
news is there to make money, like any other part of the media industry. It's called programming. They're programming you what to think, and they're being paid very well to do it. Even when it's like public television. Public television brought to you by our sponsors. And then there's 30 seconds of music while they show all the names of the endowments and foundations that
Mhm.
have ponied up the money. But in referencing the B squad, giving a pass, if you will, to some of these headlines, the way they were written, understanding you want the clickbait, talk about burying the lead in many cases.
Okay.
So, what started initially as the original franchise, the original store that created the huge franchise known as Starbucks, Starbucks unionized.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I
And in
saw
the
that.
last, and in just the last 6 weeks, several other Starbucks franchises in the United States, from the Pacific Northwest to the Atlantic coast, have voted to unionize those local stores. I mean, each franchise. So I don't want to get into the corporate structure of that. If you're a businessman and you own a franchise, then it happens to be Starbucks. Some will argue the unions are great for the worker. I, as a Irish Roman Catholic conservative nationalist and expatriate of the Irish Mafia, unions are a tool. Unions work for us, not for the worker, but we're just here to wet our beak. We're not here to destroy it. And because of hyperinflation, now that we've seen the first quarter negative GDP and record quarterly losses from Amazon, Facebook, Twitter, Google, you name it, the living wage is, well, even minimum wage at $15 an hour isn't enough. Okay, stop the car. Minimum wage is an entry-level job to teach you responsibility, customer service, work with your hands, whatever. A minimum wage job is not for you to support 3 kids. Somehow, all of these headlines of the economy, the rent spike. Congratulations, Denver, Colorado. You are now in one of the top unlivable cities because your worker base can no longer afford rent. Rent is now $1,800 a month. Way to go, Denver. Congrats. Good for you. You're number one. You also have record homicides, record assault, record car theft, record carjacking, record rape, record fentanyl overdoses. But I mean, again, these are horrible headlines, but they're now wanting to push that $15 minimum wage can't even keep up with inflation. The
So
Federal
what
Reserve,
should we do? We should build more condos.
Apartment
Yeah,
buildings along
apartments.
I-25. Yeah.
well, in a new stadium, that'll be good for infrastructure.
Oh, what is up with that?
Infrastructure is boondoggles and political payoffs. It very rarely, again, when infrastructure and government work projects were created, it was because of the Great Depression. And we needed to put people to work and give them money to pay their bills. Since COVID and stay at home, get a check, and we'll get through this together. But we're not on the same page. So I thought that was funny. Never mind. But they have now conditioned literally the working class. It even in recovery, one of the putting you in detox, you only need a detox for 72 hours. Okay. You need to go to rehab to rethink, relearn, and rebehave and get out of your environment for 28 days. Many of these people have been in this environment now well over 2 years. Wearing a mask, staying confined, get away, don't cough. How dare you? I fear they cannot be brought back. The programming now is so strong. Governments have, again, the moment President Biden was elected, he up-gears the oil and gas unions across the United States and around the world, and several other trade union groups.
Like within the first week.
In the first 48 hours.
Yeah.
He turned his back on a major contributor, the unions, but only certain unions, because you see the White House and the Democrats now getting involved with other unions to bring up, and again, in the days of Hoffa and the Teamsters, and it was what it was, because it created, Jimmy Hoffa and the mafia created the middle class, not the government. For the truckers bringing everyone who watches this, your food, your water, your Slinkies, your Red Ryder wagons, your Red Ryder BB guns, the whole 9 yards. It was the truckers. And guess what they did with a living wage? They raised a family. They bought a home in the suburbs. They bought 2 cars and a boat. They went on vacation, and they saved enough to retire with a union pension. How do we break up the old unions? We need those pension funds. It gets more sinister to this group of kids that think, now this was part of Ray Kroc's dream. You can start working at the fryer at McDonald's, and within 3 years, work your way through, go through the entire program. And within 5 years, you can have your own franchise. You've decided to make a career of McDonald's, not because of the living wage. Their incentive programs, their training programs, their higher education programs, working with government. Here's your first time small business owner grant money.
Loan.
All of loan, well, whatever, because if you are a minority, it may be under a different, there were all kinds of ways, but that was literally creating this. And I don't even see some of the things of what we can say or not. Remember the Chinese finger torture, the Chinese yo-yo?
Yeah. With the 2 fingers.
Yeah. Well, that maybe that's, they're now that interwoven, you can't break free of that. But Starbucks was the, how do we get employees? Well, let's give them health care. Oh, now the unions can really make money off you. We need these unionized. And then the worst employer that they're now targeting, which makes the Elon Musk nonsense even more ridiculous, unionizing Amazon. After Amazon just posted a $20 billion first quarter loss.
Okay.
The B squad is not doing a very good job covering up the headlines while the A team's getting an award.
And cracking jokes.
Listen, you know why they have a loss? Because they're building so many more facilities. I just took a drive today up to North Las Vegas, and it's endless. They're just building and building and building and building and building. They're gargantuan. And they nearly flag you off of the highway to come in and apply. They got little taco trucks and signs and little hootenannies and flip flops and there's everything to get people to apply to come and work there.
And
Everybody
even
always
the
says that,
cost of hoot
hey,
nannies are going up.
you and your sister can work at Amazon. You want me to go work in a factory? Does this look like a factory person? It for $15? Come on.
And they go up quick.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's why they're showing a loss. Were they going to hide humans in their scooter?
It only takes the pandemic taught some very serious lessons about supply chains. It did not take 72 hours for many local Walmarts to have their shelves stripped of food and water and supplies. Yeah, the home and gardening, and there were certain aisles where everything was still there because in a crisis pandemic, who needs another garden hose? We need 65, cans and batteries and grab all this and load this cart.
And Kleenex.
Some Kleenex.
Yeah, we need all the Kleenex we can get.
Okay. But there is a great series of conspiracy theories regarding Homeland Security working with FEMA and the deliberate relationship of Walmarts where they are to highways, major thoroughfares, railways, shipping distribution centers, etc. And that in the matter of a crisis, well, the kids are already going to clear everything out. And something else, if you notice in the strategery of Walmarts, those shelves are movable. So it could quickly be converted from a Walmart distribution center to a FEMA emergency facility for a booster shot or for decontamination or for your own safety.
Or to put you on a rail car to Dachau. Wow, did I say that?
We just had the anniversary of this.
Here comes the moonshine, folks.
Of 1944 and the 7th Army. There were rumors in the West and in the United States of the atrocities being committed in concentration camps. But this past week was the anniversary of the 7th Army liberating Dachau. That was interestingly not in the headlines this past week, as the Russians continue to be demonized as creating the next Holocaust, and we keep casually throwing the word Nazi around and nuclear war.
Oh dear. Is it okay
dangerous.
if we keep going with this, Scott? Keep going with the news? Is that okay?
That's been, yeah, it's sickening. I'm
Secretary of Defense Austin, okay, the first Black General Chief of Staff. He is out there saying, hey, we really have to tone down the nuclear war rhetoric.
Well, good. Is somebody going to talk about peace?
Well, again, but everyone in the West, including the media, hypering it with nuclear war, when the Secretary of Defense is going, this is getting us nowhere. We need to, again, negotiate, diplomatic, all the diplomacy. Oh my God, Natalie. Horrible Freudian slip. Nancy Pelosi, the highest ranking official from the United States, no, she's third in line, the first female Speaker of the House to attend a war zone. That was Hillary with her daughter running under sniper fire. She was promising that we're going to stand with Ukraine till the end. This war is going on 10 years if it's going on a day.
Well, what's the total in billions of dollars that we've given them?
Secretary of Defense Austin and Secretary of Defense Austin and State Department. No, he's not state. Yeah, head of state. Our Secretary of State, Blinken, B-L-I-N, Blinken, when they attended 10 days ago to see Zelensky, after the White House just said, we're going to give you $800 million more, they came in hand with $713 million more. The White House then announced, depending upon which media outlet you saw, 31 to 33 billion with a B, not million, billion with a B, which means if this aid package is passed by Congress this week, that Chuck Schumer said that this is important and we need to get it done ASAP. Democrats want to attach another COVID bill to this. The Republicans are pushing back, saying no, standalone bill, 33 billion or 31. Make up your mind. But then that would bring the rough count just shy of $50 billion. Just shy, 46.4 to 48.4, depending upon if it's a 31 or a 33.
$50 billion in
I can't-
50 billion
69 days.
Yeah, I can't make
$50
my
billion in 69 days.
So where does that put us by Christmas?
I can't make my calculator divide 50 billion. How much would each citizen of the United States get if
Well,
they
the
divided
left wants to see.
50 billion into 350 million?
We could
Isn't
each
that
buy
how
a
many people live
McDonald's.
here?
Yeah, we could buy a McDonald's.
Well, the first wrong math that is floating on social media right now is that Elon wants Twitter, and the bid is 44 billion. It's a little higher at $54.20 a share. But if for 44 billion, there's only 330 million Americans, we could just give them all $1 million. No, you can give them about 120 bucks. Where did you learn math? We don't teach math in school anymore.
Oh my God.
And I don't mean to bust Jackie's balls because she doesn't have any, and she's a beautiful, talented woman. Lady, so we don't have balls to bust.
Billion. I'm talking about billion.
Right. She had to immediately run to it. Who knows how to calculate? Well, no, you have to break down the zeros and then,
It's too
so
big
now-
of an amount for any calculator.
Yeah.
So imagine to everybody, we drown out those numbers. Billions, millions, and billions. Who cares? Well, how about the last 2 years? Trump won and then Biden won. Last year of Trump, first year of Biden. Not they both won the election. I did not say that. But in the last year of Trump and the first year of Biden, they each essentially issued out $7 trillion because of COVID and stimulus and everything else. You can't keep spending money like that. But what's a few billion here and a couple hundred million there when we have this major? Well, don't worry, because we're going to create cryptocurrency. And once we collapse the dollar, you'll come to crypto. But you can only say this to use your crypto, because if you don't, we're not going to be able to let you on the internet. I mean, that's just, that's what Homeland Security announced.
Are we going to take bets on when that's going to happen?
The clock is now ticking with the White House having to admit first quarter negative GDP. Well, that started the clock at the next 120 days, because recession is period. If there is a calculatable formula to know if your country is in recession, and that's 2 negative quarters of GDP. They buried the last one November, December, because of all of the spending for Christmas.
Oh,
because remember, there wasn't going to be there was consumer confidence, so that propped up.
That's because they gave us stimulus money. Yeah.
Right.
Yes, it was propped up. Well, they didn't prop it up during this first quarter, and they have to do it right now. They should have done it 3 months ago, because that's still got to trickle through the system so the numbers balance out. Food prices are up 31% since January 1st. Gas prices are up 44% since January 1st. January 1st is key because none of this has to do with Putin. The war here doesn't start until February 24th. So there was 6 weeks of economic indicators that had nothing to do with the price of tea in the Kremlin. Nothing. And they ignored that. They can't ignore it anymore, because even local media outlets are now reporting how much gas is from last month, or how much eggs were at Valentine's
Yeah, and
Day.
the gas hasn't even fluctuated at all.
No, the national gas average as of today, as of tape right now, it is 7:50 p.m. May 2nd, $4.19 a gallon. Diesel prices have now risen to a record level. It's well over $5. Hold on a second. I got it right here. All right, well, there we go. Fine. The national diesel gas price average, 5.29. Diesel gas price average doesn't exist. The national average for a gallon of diesel is $5.29 a gallon. The average, that's average. California,
Yeah,
New
that's
York,
average.
other,
For
that's
diesel?
for diesel is $5.29 a gallon. That's up double from what it was this time last year only. It doubled in a year. I'm sorry, it doubled in a year. Now, remember all the promises when this Bugatti, the war started, gas prices surging. Biden announces we're going to release the strategic oil money. We're gonna make deals with Venezuela and Iran and anybody and their mother that'll sell us oil. We just won't drill in our own country. That's politics aside. The national gas price average was pushing $4.29 a gallon. That's a lie. It was $4.24. So this entire 6-week monkey festival has only dropped the price of gallon of gas a nickel. And the White House claimed it was going to drop 20 cents, 10 to 20 cents a gallon. Meanwhile, we gave up 30% of our strategic oil supply in the event of catastrophe. In this region, there's deliberately wire the names up so people know where Moldova is. Moldova is next. As they focus attention on the east, on the Donbass region, and to the south in Odessa, they're already attacking the Russians, attacking the airfields and what the Russia is calling strategic factory points in Odessa. So that means then they will control the Sea of Azov and the Black Sea. They will have total control in the south and the waterway. They will have cut Ukraine in half. God, I really got to give credit to Mike Nelson and Dave Frazier who can work
a green screen.
I got to give them credit. They make it look, right.
Oh, but what is the end game?
Well, that big port is right behind you.
Odessa, yes. That's why I'm trying to figure out which way to move. There we go. There's Odessa.
And
Jackie,
people are now conditioned. I mean, they're getting conditioned to this price. I mean, we're at $4. You drop that even down to $3, and people are going to be thinking, "Oh my gosh, it went down $1," but you're still at $3. You know what I mean? Conditioning.
Oil is not a fossil fuel. Oil is regenerative of this earth, and there are powers that be that do not want the general public to know that. But there's far too much evidence that, oil regenerates, comes right out of the ground. No, the fossils and the dinosaurs and
wow, the poor dinosaurs. That's a lot of dinosaur flesh. My God.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Oh,
and Jackie,
what's the end game? Yeah.
What is the end game?
They're my little bottle of lotion, that is made in Boulder, Colorado, has gone up so much just to move it around the country. And my hairspray went up like 35%. And
not only to get the product to you, but for the companies to make the product, package the product. To make it. That's exactly right. They're paying more just in the transport. I'm sorry, as we come into growing season, Mother's Day, planting season now is okay. Well, the farmers are paying 35 to almost 200% more for fertilizer and seed, depending upon what strains of whatever products they're putting in the ground. And the farming industry, on not a corporate level, to the hardworking farmers that make America great, they have to go to the bank and borrow the money to pay for the fertilizer, to pay for the seed, to work the farm, to sell the product, to pay the nut, to hopefully have made enough to get through the winter, to rinse, lather, and repeat. And as corporate farming has taken over so many of the local farms, another thing that COVID, why are our supply chains choked? I'm not getting into any conspiracy theories regarding the processing plants and some of their technical issues or shutdowns, accidents, or fires. But for 2 years, during Trump and during Biden, there's no blame one or the other. They both did it. Paid farmers not to farm.
Or sold their farmland to Gates.
Right.
Or kill the chickens. Those poor chickens.
want to
Guys are
hide the
staring at me. Wow.
with killing all the chickens, and then they want to promote the girl, or the guy was a girl who tried to, protest at the Timberwolves game, and got tackled right away by a security guard. Jackie, your question was, what is their end game? And as you and I have talked before on our other project, The Conspiracy Keepers, people have to understand that Agenda 21 is real, and Agenda 2030 is real. These are documents, these are the blueprints, these are their plans. And when you have them talk about the Great Reset is we have nothing, we own nothing, and we're happy. Because it becomes more frightening about what a great hero and a patriot Elon Musk is for protecting free speech. This is the same guy who wants to control all the satellites and wants to put a microchip and a Neuralink in all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Not forcibly. He's going to make it
crazy.
so cool that you're going to stand in line to get one of these things. It is crazy. But now I'm going to leave it with this because I've hijacked this show again, and I'm sorry. Jackie, you're in Nevada. You're in Las Vegas, where when it's in Vegas, it stays in Vegas, and we're not allowed to talk about Vegas. I'm wondering which one I bring up first. I'm going to bring this all gets together, and then we're out. I'm out. You guys play amongst yourselves. Scotty, you're a huge baseball fan,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Jackie, are you a baseball fan? We've never really talked about sports. Do you follow any particular sport?
I love the Major League Baseball organization. I am a national leaguer, although I haven't my American League team.
Okay.
Because I grew up in Arizona, where before they had their own baseball team, we had spring training.
Yep.
Spring training.
So
Okay,
I followed the A's. So anyway, if they move here to Vegas, I'll be happy as a clam.
Minnesota Twins for me. Scotty, who was it for you as a kid?
Well, growing up here, we had cable and we had minor league ball. So I grew up watching the Cubs and Harry Carey.
Sure. Hey, this is Harry Carey here today.
The best Harry Carey. It was probably like sixth inning Harry Carey. So he was probably a 6-pack in. They were playing the Rockies, and you'll appreciate this, Scooter. He referred to Andres Galarraga as,
yes.
Are you ready for this? Andres Galarrado.
Colorado. I wish I would have thought of that.
It was awesome, man.
In my voice. Andres Galarraga coming up here to the plate. Later tonight, we're going to get some deep dish pizza.
Andres Galarrado.
Anyway, that's really awesome.
Okay, so the baseball, and again, reference to George Carlin, the late great, God bless his soul, and the differences between baseball, pastoral, football, military, gridiron,
Mm-hmm.
very, very
And
neutral or
what about hockey
versus aggressive.
We got our Avalanche.
Go Avalanche.
And so these stories are going to come together real quick. Jackie, I was wrong on the Conspiracy Keepers about European, British elections, French elections when it comes to sex scandals. Remember that?
Yeah.
How come in the West here in the United States in particular, a sex scandal goes right to the politicians and bang, they go down. And yet in Europe, the Europeans don't care about a sex scandal. And you and I kind of mutually agreed on that on the Conspiracy Keepers, remember?
Well, yeah, that's because they're allowed to have affairs.
I was wrong.
Uh-oh.
The latest scandal now in Parliament in England regarding them watching their phone. They're all on their phones in these meetings.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what they were doing?
Sexting.
Watching
porn.
And people around them and the media getting, so they all got they're watching porn on their phones. And so now perhaps 50% of the members of parliament, the MPs, could be engaged in a scandal because they were trolling hoochies on the phone. Sex scandal. I was wrong. I'm obvious, and I said that in this year, like in January or February. I was wrong. Okay.
Okay.
But to you in Nevada, and I do not have a problem with this because it's the law and it's not being forced upon you. And if you want to go pay for sex, you know where to go. I think prostitution in the United States should be legalized. Okay, but then regulated is where everybody's getting their taste and their money, which is no different than a pimp. But prostitution needs to be decriminalized. Period. It is two adults. Hey, $50, can I have, how much is a duck worth in Ukraine? So the NFL draft is in your backyard there, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
And talk about a green. Nevada is not, Las Vegas is not green by any means, and throw all the money you want at it or not. But the success of the NFL draft, now they want to close a portion of the Vegas Strip to not allow crowds. Yeah, we're not going to have cars. No, this is going to be good. This is a bad idea. By the way, this is the first time the draft is being held in Vegas. It's normally always being held in New York. A woman who's working out at the Chicken Ranch brothel outside of Las Vegas.
Third base.
I've got the notes. This is so
Second
bad.
base.
Oh, we're well past second base when you find out about this exceptionally.
By the way,
wow.
don't contact us saying there's no prostitution in Clark County. We already know that. Clark County is the county where Las Vegas is, and prostitution is not legal here. It's outside of Clark County.
Outside of, that is correct.
When we were in Vegas, we played a game called Pros or Hose.
Pros or hose?
Yeah, Pros or Hose.
Okay. So she is a sex worker, and she offered, by the way, she was voted 2017 Lover of the Year. Prostitute.
What's
sex
that
worker.
trophy? What's that trophy?
Hooker,
like?
escort. Again, there's that whole ranking, and if you call an escort a hooker, oh man, that's going to cost you a lot more. I was told. So she offered whoever winds up being the first round draft pick, she would like to express anything they want. Come see me. She was soliciting a freebie to whoever becomes the NFL first round draft pick. And I watched, as I tried really hard to watch 10 minutes of it, and it was a train wreck.
Yep.
Not the sex act, the draft.
Yep.
And I really want to know why the NFL has gone completely thug rap, gangster. And again, it's sex, it's glamour. I get it. They were black and white players were dressed like pimps.
This is why I like hockey. The guys dress in suits. Am I right,
Missing
Scott?
teeth.
Yeah, they look like regular guys.
They're regular guys. They're hot though. Those, oh, woo! I love a guy in a suit. I don't know why the NFL's gone that way, but it's just that is the way it is. And I could tell you stories that would curl your hair about what the Broncos players do. Well, I just know the Broncos because I happen to live in Denver, but in the last few years, what they do, the minute, well, you know, even Joe Namath admitted that he went out until the minute he had to go on the field. You know what I mean? He was out drinking, cavorting, we wore his thing, and he could still go on the field. I guess those guys think the same thing, but boy, the way they treat women and the amount of drugs that they do is no joke. It is thug life. Don't think it isn't.
Well, Roxanne Price, who was the top-notch service, is what she promises to provide out at the Chicken Ranch brothel outside of Las Vegas, Nevada. She was voted 2017 Lover of the Year. And so is it the girls in the dressing room that voted for her? Was it her customers?
No, I think there's an award system. I don't know if it's the porn awards.
That's AVN. AVN is different.
What is,
because
again,
Jackie,
what does that trophy look like?
Hey. 2022, a lot. Time has a lot to do in that industry. I'm just saying. I don't care how a healthy lifestyle you allege. Talk about, and again, I'll take the heat. The overwhelming majority of women in that industry are very badly broken. Something happened to them.
Yeah.
Who's your daddy? Who's your mommy? I don't know. I'm not making a judgment. I'm making an observation as having worked in that industry for a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why do two of you walk a girl out at night? Are you crazy? They're nuts. They're drunk. If it's ever one-on-one, it's their word against yours, and you're a guy. We believe the girl first.
Yep.
That's what's frightening about Amber Heard. That's this focus on Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. When Jackie, I brought up again this whole Ukrainian thing on the Conspiracy Keepers about the white trafficking and the sex slavery. Oh yeah, if you're Googling that, you're getting Amber Heard and Johnny Depp and that nonsense. You're not seeing the real problem right now of everybody concerned for these Ukrainian children. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. That's what the
price right now.
That's what the MPs were doing. We're trading children. The MPs on their thing when they were on the floor of Parliament. Did you lose us?
Hey,
we were losing you
while you have your calculator there.
Yeah, I got it.
What I would want to know, and this, when we were talking about the NFL, you're not gonna be able to add this up.
Okay.
We were talking about the NFL and the thugs and the gangsters and the trillions that we've sent to Ukraine. I would be curious to know how much salary per year, all the players put together, what that number would be.
I'm sure. Gosh, I have a guy who owns a sports betting service. I could have asked him.
Do you think it would exceed the money we've sent to Ukraine already?
No way. It's not even 1 billion. Do you think? No way. Mm-mm.
My mic and headset cut out for a moment. How much money was the question? Have we
how much money per year in
NFL salaries,
NFL contracts? Of course, there's only
contracts.
A number of dudes that play in the NFL.
Okay, players only. We're not talking about ownership, television.
Well, let's go. I mean, let's look at the whole gamut. How much money that the NFL puts out in a year, contracts, players, down to, paying the groundskeeper.
Oh,
is that as much as we've given Ukraine?
That's only a couple billion. Is that what you think?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
I think the whole NFL is only worth, how much is the NFL worth? What's the value of the NFL?
It would require a team. I'm sure there's an estimated value, but if you actually broke it down, I think that value in many cases is overrated and in other areas underrated. Because when you bring up, for example, a player's contract, your player's contract is $200 million over 12 years based upon, there's performance based versus actual salary. And
wow.
There's playoff incentives.
I'm way off.
Jackie?
And what about
wait a minute. I'm way off. You ready? The average NFL team is worth 3.5 billion, and there's 32 franchises.
And there's 32 franchises.
So that's more than 112 billion. 112 billion. That's what the NFL is worth. Wow.
No.
And
each team is worth 3 billion.
3.5.
And there are 36 teams. Yeah, so 100 billion.
And that's just one sport.
Yeah, so the collective.
That's just the teams.
I know,
collective.
But we're just looking at the NFL itself. I mean, take the NBA and take Major League, put all that together.
American sport is big business.
Wow.
Yes.
Collective value of the 32 franchises is more than $112 billion.
So that's how all those NFL players make bail. Because I find it hysterical in the NFL Again, you dress to impress. When you go out, when you travel with the team, you wear a suit. You don't dress like a thug. And when you're on the field, you're not wearing jewelry and nose rings and do-rags and all this nonsense. So, because you're dressing like
Wow.
a gangbanger. I don't care what color you are.
Come here,
You're
puppy.
dressing like a gangbanger. But
Except
there,
Peyton.
I guarantee you there are more felons in the NFL than there are in Major League Baseball.
Oh, yeah.
The NBA is worth half of that.
Half the NFL.
The NBA.
Huh.
Yeah, the NBA is worth half of essentially the NFL. Okay. But still 50 billion. The entire NBA is
Billion.
And
Whoa.
that includes, I would assume those numbers include all of the merchandising and all the jersey sales and
That's what it said. 3.5 billion per team on average.
endorsements.
Yeah.
No, because that'd be different.
Well, that'd be different.
That'd be different.
Yeah, but still. So yeah, that's why I'm saying when you talk about somebody's contract, there's 8 different streams of revenue per year that are available, but a player may only get. What happens again? You played for 6 weeks and then your knee blew out. Well, you're out now, so you don't get your performance-based pay. You're still going to be on the team, but now you're on injured reserve.
Mhm.
Your contract may have a clause in there that we only pay 50% of your salary per year if you're on it. There's all kinds of clauses in a contract.
Yeah.
So, but the pastoral and the sex nonsense of the NFL, I just remember the days, you pick up a girl and you get in the car, take her to dinner and go to a movie. And did you get to first base or second
Oh
base?
I was
my
wondering when the baseball
God.
was coming back in. I was wondering. There it
And
is.
now, we go to Vegas for the draft. What stays in Vegas stays in, or what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And they're the first ones to put it on their Instagram and tweet about it. And again, you got to give the gal credit wanting to reboot her career of Lover of the Year of 2017. Everybody wants to be a victim. I knew one of the victims in the whatever shooting. No, hey, I'll give whatever you want to the next NFL number 1 draft pick. All right.
Well, listen, all those places were really hurt. They shut down during COVID. Hello, sex workers took a big hit.
Again, hence why things like OnlyFans in the digital world, it all went through the roof.
It really did. Betting. Oh gosh, the betting.
Oh yeah. Right from your phone. Click, click, click.
So,
Well, this is a little more fun than talking about Scott's dating life, and so
Yeah, this is way more
it worked
fun.
out okay.
Yeah.
and then the other
I'm
baseball,
glad we kept Scooter on.
there was one other baseball headline this
Oh,
last week.
please give it to us.
The New York Yankees got in trouble, a slap on the wrist. They had to pay $100,000 fine because in 2016-2017 season or 2015-16, I forget which seasons, they were stealing signals and they were using the dugout phone to do it.
Oh,
Now,
that's the
stealing
oldest trick in the
signals-
book.
Again, that's why I found that story so amusing, because even Major League Baseball, we haven't had a good scandal in a while. Hey, here's a good take out the trash news story. We'll find, and again, finding the Yankees $100,000 is like,
What are they worth?
That's what I was
you're
just
gonna
thinking.
you're gonna go out and mow the yard. You're gonna pull 1 grade of grass and go, "Yep, took care of that, didn't we?" You did nothing to the yard. Don't.
It doesn't
So
even register on the Geiger counter, man.
No, not even close.
$100,000, right? But the Yankees are now victims, of course, because they were singled out. Since baseball has been invented, why do you think we're not doing all this crap for our health? We're trying to tell the guy out in outfield what's coming up next.
Right.
And so stealing signals is nothing new.
Whoa.
Let alone stealing signals from the bullpen. They got a phone out there, you know that.
Yankees.
Do they not have cell phones in the dugout?
No. The phone on the wall.
No,
So
I
they
know what
can-
you're. I know the phone on the wall, but
No.
now,
No,
cell phones.
no cell phones in the
No.
dugout. No way.
Oh,
No, the coach wouldn't have liked that. The manager.
Jackie,
Okay.
how much are the Yankees worth?
How much?
They lead MLB
Right.
in valuations at 7.01 billion. Billion.
Wow.
And then the other bad story in Major League Baseball in before the first 30 days, because this was one of my sports headlines for the 29th. And that you just find me at scootermcgee.com or the Scooter McGee Show on YouTube. Pitching. Again, all things pastoral in baseball. No sex jokes here. Pitchers and most Major League Baseball players, even most college players, they can put that ball 99 times out of 100 and 999 times out of 1,000 where they want it.
Yeah.
I don't say 99. Why? Because we're pulling pitchers after 110. No, we pull pitchers now after 13 pitches. We're done, pussies. Sorry. Sorry. No, this gets me mad because
that's third base.
No, this is no. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. What's going on in Major League Baseball right now? The New York Mets. If I had a pot to piss in right now, I would put money on the Mets to go to the World Series. These guys are some of the tightest, strongest, unified team in Major League Baseball history. They are crushing it, and they're getting no coverage because something else is happening that they can't talk about the Mets because they'd have to talk about this. If you watch a New York Mets game, on average, how many players do you think get hit by a baseball at home plate for the pitch? How many wild pitches a year do you think happen, Jackie or Scott?
That go out into the to the stands?
No, the pitcher is throwing to the plate and he accidentally hit the player.
How many players get hit in a year?
Once a game.
I would say
No.
In a year.
A wild pitch that hits the batter?
In a year.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 70 times.
So it would shock you to find out, or perhaps it won't, that before the first 30 days of Major League Baseball were played by the New York Mets, that their players have been hit now 12 times.
That's high.
Pitchers from different teams are throwing beaners at the batter.
Put him out. Yeah.
Why? Because we don't want him to hit a home run, but we know he's a good hitter. So you've got a manager, you've got multiple managers.
Oh, that's dirty.
Telling their pitchers when it comes time, we didn't tell you to do. We're gonna have to try and work on that arm. Take him out tomorrow. Maybe he's a little tight. No, he threw that brush back. Again, it's one thing to brush you off the plate. But again, as a pitcher, don't tell me you don't know where my head is. And you just threw that at my head, and you just threw that at my ribcage. You're throwing to hit me. At some point, either the manager for the New York Mets needs to be fired, because how this has gone on now for 4 weeks. Look, the next one of you guys that gets a ball and takes it, gentlemen, we follow him to the mound. That's it. We are going to take him out.
And beat the tar out of him.
And beat the crap out of him.
Yeah.
And that will send a very clear message to any other pitcher in Major League Baseball. You better not hit a New York Met.
Yeah, there you go. Well, Scott, are you texting someone? What are we doing?
No, I was trying to find out how many hit batsmen there were in the 2021 season, but I couldn't find.
Well, again, it's one thing for a pitcher. Yeah, you know what? Now, man, I'm sorry. And you can tell right away from the mound and the cameras, even the pitcher's mad. He's mad at himself. He missed the grip. Damn it. Thank God I didn't hurt him. You can see those expressions in players.
Oh, yeah.
And we're not seeing that of the opponents of the New York Mets because they are hitting so well that it is becoming almost, no. How many other wild pitches are happening in Major League Baseball this week? And we just had 3 in, one series.
That's a lot.
Different. Again, you start a game, you don't start and play the series. You have multiple pitchers for multiple games.
Right.
So, and you can't say, well, this is just one team. No, because in the first 4 weeks of Major League Baseball, the New York Mets are, it's something in the water. It's like the New York Pizza Dough, and that water makes it special. The New York Mets, they're drinking too much water, and there's a metal alloy, and the ball is actually spiked with the wrapping now has a new metal thing on it. It just attracts. That's why it sticks to them.
Zing.
It's 5G, dang it.
5G. It's 5G.
And the towers, yes, that are
And the towers.
yes, that's the conspiracy. No, even in baseball now, again, we all cheat in baseball, cork and bats and pine tar and a couple extra feet off base. It's Ricky Henderson stealing all those bases. But throwing a fastball at 90 miles an hour plus, how is that not attempted murder? I know. Well, we wear a helmet now. No. Okay. No.
No, this is nothing like Deflategate, is it?
No. And the sportscasters can't cover the Mets because it would then bring up the obvious of lightning seems to be hitting the New York Mets more than baseballs now, or baseballs hitting. You see what I'm saying?
Something
That's
to
why
watch. Yeah. Something to keep track of. Thanks.
And again, and a great betting tip for those out there. Again, if your team is batting 500 at the All-Star break, you essentially have a good chance of making the playoffs. Statistically, if you're batting 500 at the 4th of July, you're going to the doesn't mean you're going to the World Series, but you're going to the playoffs.
Postseason.
Yeah.
But with wild cards and extra, Scotty, what is this extra innings crap? And we're going to put a runner on second base. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you just I'm not saying you just hijacked this podcast, but you did. Maybe you should post this. We should all 3 post this on our own podcast.
Yeah, for sure. It's been good, Scooter.
I want to hear the stories of what Jackie knows in Vegas. Did you happen to have a celebrity? Everyone and their mother that wasn't at the correspondence dinner was at the draft.
Everyone. Rap
Did you
artists.
see anybody?
Yeah.
Who'd you
want to
see?
know who I saw? Fig Newton and Donny Osmond.
Who's Fig Newton?
No kidding.
Wayne Newton.
Oh, Wayne Newton.
Yeah.
Fig. It was
Gotcha.
Haven't you seen his skin color lately?
I think that he's been cloned.
Possibly.
That would not surprise me.
How could
Possibly.
he still be standing?
Even George
Wait,
Hamilton.
did you see them together?
Together.
Just walking down the street?
Well, no, they're on the press carpet thing.
Oh,
pretty
could you
cute.
tell them apart?
Sure. Fig is like a stuffed, I don't know. The teeth are fake. It's all fake. And
It's
he
all
was
fake.
stuffed into a tuxedo jacket, Anyway, I'm sure he had one of those girdles on in the middle,
Oh, yeah.
like all the guys do now, taking our Spanx away.
And Donnie, how was he looking?
Oh, Donnie looks great.
Yeah.
It's all those years of clean living.
Yeah.
Have you seen his show in Vegas?
No.
Donny Osmond.
No,
You have not.
nope.
Okay. I've actually heard from another friend of mine in Vegas. Carrot Top has an awesome show. And Donny Osmond has Carrot, oh dude, he's hysterical.
And he
you know
worked
who
the
else
most.
you
He worked the most through COVID. When things were almost everything was closed down, Carrot Top was still working.
Yeah, but Jackie just goes to see the tribute shows, right?
Oh, I love the tribute shows. Yeah.
She's just into the tribute shows. So if there's
Not
a
only-
Donny Osmond tribute show.
No, not exactly. I would go see the real Donny Osmond, but those tickets are not cheap.
What about a Donny Osmond tribute show?
Who is the last celebrity you saw in Vegas, Jackie? And where were they?
You mean
it
a show?
cameo? No, like a
Wonder.
cameo sighting. Yeah, I saw them walking here, or they were eating that. Not on stage performing. I just mean, and not even necessarily a Vegas performer.
Oh, no, Johnny Osmond and Fig Newton on the on the press carpet at the draft.
Who was the
Saturday.
last celebrity sighting before that?
Oh gosh, dang. Oh man, I don't know. Nobody, I guess. I have to
If
think
they're
about it.
If they're eating dinner in a restaurant, for example, and you're in the restaurant, do you go over to their table or do you just snap a picture of them?
Now, this is not exactly fair, only because I don't live close to the strip. Like I don't live in the entertainment district. And when I lived in Denver, I was super active in the entertainment district because I was working. You know what I mean? Because I was
Yes.
working in radio. You're going to the games, you're going backstage, you're doing the stage announcements, you're doing all that stuff. So I saw lots of celebrities and
Right.
eating at the restaurants. You know what I mean? So my lifestyle is different. So I'm sorry, I can't say that I've had a lot of encounters.
What about celebrity lookalikes?
When you went to the Michael Jackson tribute show,
Damn, that was good.
did you get a meet and greet with that performer, or
Yeah.
have you met them before?
No, I hadn't met him before. No, but he was, we were there for a special show that was just press and the concierge who booked the press, And
Yes.
so, yeah, he was sitting right up there.
Did you get to talk to him?
No, I didn't press up to the front. You guys are making me out to be a wimp now. Anyway.
No, I was curious. Okay, so you dress like Michael Jackson, you sing like Michael Jackson. What did he talk like Michael if he just talked to you? That was where
No,
I was
he's
going
Latin.
with
He's from, he's a Latin American. So I think he's from Mexico. Anyway, he played
that. Like
white
the Journey replacement singer.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy's
He's
better
from the
than
Philippines.
The singer.
The Steve Perry sound-alike guy.
Yeah,
He's
Doesn't
better
look
than-
at all like. Yeah, well, it depends upon who you talk to. I've heard that, but yeah, that voice comes out of that body, which
Filipino.
is
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but I mean, that was why I was curious. Does the Michael Jackson look alike? Or no, actually, he sounds like Barry White, but
No,
no,
he really sings like Michael Jackson and he really dances like Michael Jackson.
well, I've seen that on your social media when you posted one of those things when you were there. That's why I was curious backstage, because when you were doing the Denver celebrity stuff, how they are on stage is not necessarily how they are back here if their guard's down and it's okay.
Oh, that's for sure. Yeah. They're putting on an act. They're acting. Yeah.
Well, not that that's good or bad, just that's a fact. So it's
Yep.
not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right. My damage done now.
Yeah. We think we've damaged me. Yes. Poor Scott. Scott, was this your podcast?
Yeah, no, this was good. This was good.
We didn't have to talk about your dating life and Kleenexes and stuff.
I know, right?
I have a question for the women.
Let's talk about the Ukraine every episode.
Yeah,
I-
right.
It's much more exciting than my life, man.
Then you're like,
I have an observation, and I need a female perspective and a third party witness. So
okay,
this
here we go,
doesn't
Scott.
escalate. Yeah, so this doesn't escalate to HR. It's a he said, she said. Jackie, am I right or wrong when I make this statement? When it comes to sex, women need a reason, men just need a place.
What?
Okay, think about it. In the world of sex, I mean the act of sex, for women, it's very much in the head. Women need a reason. Men just need a place. It's an observation, just like every watch that's broken, it's only right twice a day. And
Wow.
no, again, is that a fair observation to make about the human condition of the difference between a man and a woman when it comes to the act of sex?
I don't know. I think that I've told Scott all this before. I don't think casual sex is a true benefit for anyone because it takes two to have sex, right? Well,
Yes.
okay, if we're talking about, two consenting adults, are having sex, and it should be a benefit to both people. But since we are wired differently, men can have casual sexual encounters and not really have too much emotional baggage about it. But I think that sex is sacred, and it should be between two people who care about one another. That's my opinion. So yeah, some men can have, casual sex, and especially, and I say this because I know gay men having sex with gay men in a casual situation is really easy for them, and they have a lot of fun doing it. But I don't know. And I know men can go from woman to woman to woman and have agreements about this, that, or the other. But for women, honestly, if they tell you it's casual is okay, I think that they're not being honest.
I
answer the question?
Well, yes. And there is no right or wrong. I asked that only because you were in on the conversation about sex scandals. And again, it's always, well, it's just one or two, and it's just the bad apple in the barrel. When you're talking about 50 members of parliament, and they're sitting doing this all day while they're supposed to be governing the country. And again,
they're psychopathic, non-organic entities, in my opinion.
Okay. Don't want to necessarily judge, other than the social construct of it. Because if you want, one of the things of men and women, in my opinion, the birth control pill and women's lib and all of this, and the roads that went down, in that, you can just do this, meaning you can do this and not have to worry about it. Well, yeah, there are sex. The act of sex is one thing, but there's mental things going on, hormonal things going on, adrenals, all of that. And, like the joke of, why do women eat chocolate? Doesn't chocolate replicate one of the pheromones of sex? And that it's pleasurable?
Right?
Well, serotonin, yeah.
Yeah.
If it's serotonin, okay. So that was my observation. Again, the members of parliament who are just, again, it's parliament. We got webcams here, guys. The press pool is over there. Yeah, whatever. Ooh, look at that.
But don't they have a responsibility to pay attention to what's going on the floor?
Yeah. Hence now why a sex scandal at least appears in England, because, well, shouldn't you be? Yeah, because you really shouldn't be. You probably don't want to be being exposed to pornography and all that. Why? Because it degrades the societal system. And I do agree with Jackie on the sex side. You want to have casual partners, blow your brain. Go, watch your brains out, have fun. But for many, it requires a physical connection and an emotional connection. It requires an emotional connection long before there's anything physical.
Sure. Absolutely. And it's even more, it's an energetic thing. That's stuff you can't see, but you can only feel.
Yes.
Well, yeah. And then talk about chasing that monkey. Yes. Because you want to keep, the hunt versus the kill, and the whole sociology behind that process. But I was just curious from a female perspective. I made an observation in my notes about the British members of parliament. Women need a reason. And then I just put, men just need a place with a question mark. You're sitting in a suit in parliament, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
They can't wait till they get home at least.
I don't know. It's so funny because, women have sexual needs. It's not like we give in or something. We want to have sex too. It's not like, we're different from each other in that way. Women think about sex just as often. We see a good looking man. We see, we look at men's butts. We look at your face. We look at your, honesty.
Yeah. There's all that.
There's all that
instinct. Yeah.
Sure. And I know you guys just like it, it's easy for women to say, oh, you guys just like a nice ass. And you know what I mean? But we do too. We have to carry the load. If you impregnate us, we got to carry that thing for the next 9 months. We want to make sure that that's in our DNA. We can't get rid of it. We want to make sure that you're going to be around us. We want to make sure that you're committed to us emotionally.
Yes. Happy Mother's Day to the mothers out there.
Wow. Where is my booze?
Mothers and grandmothers. The internet. Well, the internet, no, because grandmother's day and grandfather's day exist, and then there's grandparents' day. Okay. When
This is
we
water.
were all
Just
when
FYI.
we were all kids, yeah, well, you're gonna need moonshine after this.
I
When
know.
we were all kids, and it's Saturday morning, and we're having our Rice Krispies or Cheerios or Fruit Loops or oatmeal or whatever we're having, watching cartoons, it never occurred to us that our parents were having sex
No.
because they were old. We're kids. Your parents are in their 30s. Yeah, man, they're really old.
Yeah, you only had to be
Did you
in
have-
your 30s to be old.
And grandma and grandpa, well, their grandma and grandpa, they bring candy and treats, and we have sleepovers. And they take us to the. What do you mean, grandma and grandpa are having? Oh, gross! No way. The internet, and things like medical data.
Where's this going, Scott?
The elderly communities have the highest
Third base.
transmission of sex diseases. Why? Because even when the old people go into the old folks' home, what are they doing? They're still having sex. They've lost their spouse. The kids don't want them. They get put in a home. Hey, on Thursdays at 4:00, have you seen?
Oh, stop it.
And they're hooking up.
Yeah, but that's not an old folks home. That's just retirement community.
Next week on the Leisure Podcast.
Oh, boy.
Not true.
Elderly
cut this
nursing
off?
home
Wow.
sexcapades.
Sexcapades. We'll talk about
But-
Scott's dating life next week.
I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go take a shower.
I know, huh?
No, well, you're gonna want the Karen Silkwood shower head to get this one off yet. But seriously, this 50's the new 40, 40's the new 30. When we were kids, that was none of that nonsense. And once you became a parent, you had to be grown up, and there wasn't and the most uncomfortable talk every kid ever had was with their parents, the sex talk.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll just go learn on the streets like my friends. But it's the thinking process, and that's why my brain wrote. So but not a judgment. Women need it. It's emotional, and the men, the monkeys swinging from the chandeliers, just sitting there on their little. Oh my God! And the sex and the hormones. When we already know that you on your smartphone is making you addicted to a feeling. Replace it.
He said.
Now making it just sex versus an actual intellectual connection.
So anyway, Scott, what else you want?
What time's Scooter coming on?
Look at the time. I gotta
Look
go.
at the time. Yeah, easy for you.
It's been great.
Are we
Scooter.
done? Should I say goodbye?
Yeah, we're all going.
Yeah. Thanks. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
And Cinco de Drinko. Yes.
Don't forget, May the 4th be with you. It's a crowded week, people. Crowded week.
Gosh, lots of stuff going on.
So today is 45 years ago today, or May 4th. When was Star Wars released? May 1st?
4th.
May 2nd.
4th.
Was it released on the 4th too?
Wasn't it?
I don't know.
No.
I've been celebrating
the-
improperly.
I
No,
thought
it
that was
was
just
released.
a nerd thing.
Yeah, it's a nerd thing. It was either
Yeah.
released May 1st or May 2nd.
Oh no.
You just broke.
When
her
was
heart.
Star Wars released? It's 45 years ago. That can't be. It's 45 years ago today
Holy
or
shit.
yesterday. Because today's May 2nd.
Says May 25th.
It
Star
was-
Wars first released on May 25th, 1977.
Whoa. May 25th.
Yeah, it was they weren't clever enough back then to realize May the
The
4th
4th.
be with you.
I guess not.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't clever enough. You would
Well,
think.
they had no idea that was going to literally become the catchphrase and a tag associated with May 4th.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was the first or second day in May.
Says
that Star
25.
Wars.
Britannia.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh boy. People are going to bust me on that. People are busting me that I didn't know the name of the guys on oh my God. Oh jeez, I'm going down. South Park. I guess me and Scott, we were talking about South Park once. And
I
didn't know.
can't watch it.
Kenny and him and oh man.
It jerks around too much,
Okay.
but next time.
Speaking of jerking around, let's call this one a wrap.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
We're out.
Come again.
All right.
Bye.
Drink your water.
Okay.